Hi, this is Michael O'Leary from By the Book Taxes, here with the next in a series of video blogs on tax liens, IRS tax liens. Tax liens sound like a very scary topic, but I'm going to give you an overview of how to get around, how to navigate around an IRS tax lien. Okay, so it's not impossible to deal with IRS tax liens. I'm sure it may scare potential home buyers, existing homeowners who wish to sell a home, or maybe even real estate professionals who haven't had much experience in dealing with IRS tax liens. But we're going to show you how. The first thing to understand is a little bit about how tax liens work and how the IRS collection process works. Excuse me. Okay. So here's an outline of the IRS collection process. A taxpayer files a tax return. And as soon as the IRS receives the return and processes it, which if it's e-filed could be a couple of days, they assess the tax, assuming that there's a balance due on the tax return. Once the return is processed and the tax is assessed, the taxpayer receives a billing notice. It's like an invoice. Hey, thanks, we got your tax return. You owe us some money. Please send it in right away. You have 10 days to respond to that. If you don't respond, what's called a silent lien arises. This is by law. There's no removing the silent lien. By silent, they mean that you're not notified that it arises. So if you have a balance and you don't pay it, there's a lien, whether you're notified or not. So then what happens is if you continue to ignore the IRS over a period of weeks or even a few months, you will receive increasingly escalating and threatening collection letters from the IRS, ultimately resulting in a letter in which they threaten to lien and levy your property. If you still ignore these letters, the IRS will file what's called a notice of federal tax lien if you owe more than $10,000. This filing automatically destroys your credit rating. The good news is when you get that letter, which says that they are threatening to lien and levy you, you can request what's called a collection due process hearing. If you continue to ignore them, though, they will start levying you, which means they clean out your bank account and they may garnish your wages. And if you're self-employed, they may garnish the payments that your vendors make to you. So you can't ignore the ever-escalating IRS collection process. Okay, there are 3 ways to navigate around an IRS tax lien, and the asset that I use, which is most common, is a home. In case you wish to buy a home that has a lien on it, sell your own home which has a lien on it, or maybe even refinance your mortgage that already has a lien. The 3 options are called subordination, discharge, and withdrawal. Quickly, subordination means you ask the IRS if another creditor, such as a bank, your mortgage lender, can go ahead of them in the order of the lenders that you owe money to. The reason the IRS would agree to do this is if you wanted to refinance your mortgage at a much lower interest rate, which would decrease your monthly payments and allow you to increase your payments to the IRS so they could get paid off faster. Discharge is, let's say you're going to sell your house, but you don't have enough equity in the house to pay off the IRS in full. As long as you can prove that to the IRS and have the IRS receive all the net proceeds that you get on the sale so that you don't walk away with any money. Whatever is realized after paying off the mortgages goes to the IRS. They are willing to remove the lien and accept what's left. The third is a withdrawal. If you are on a payment plan with the IRS and you have made a certain amount of payments through a direct debit agreement, they will withdraw the notice of the federal tax lien, which can help you begin to repair your credit rating. I'm going to go into a lot more detail on each of these three items over the next few weeks. That's just kind of the Reader's Digest version of how they work. Okay, if you have years of unfiled tax returns, owe the IRS a bunch of money, have tax liens on your properties, the IRS is levying your bank accounts or garnishing your W-2, please call me. I can help.